you'll have to decide on pretty quickly if you're doing a podcast. Decide on some standard, what kind of device you're going to use and what kind of files you're going to move around. And I just collected a few of the most common standards right now today. Just to note that there are lots of other formats you might deal with in audio and video. But the predominant ones are really carried right here, video and audio. The video formats, Move is actually a very common output of a camera. And it turns out inside it is an MP4 and some other stuff with the audio. But it's probably the most common camera output is the Move file. MP4 are very common to come out of programs, editing programs. And you might get the Windows Media Video, WMVs, and AVI. On the audio-only side, MP3 is right now by far the most popular for moving audio around. Yeah.
Will you have access to the presentation afterwards?
Oh yeah, this is actually online,
Okay.
and I did put the link in a few hours ago, so we can put it out again. I'll put it a little more prominently. If you go to the Podcasting 101 website, the Meetup website, it's right at the bottom of that intro. We could put it at the top or make it lower. Originally, the podcasting term was reserved for content created by individuals. It tended to be small organizations and individuals. And probably around 2007, 2008, podcasting really just exploded. And suddenly, the iTunes and some of the other platforms were dominated by media coming out of big companies. So it kind of flipped. And what I think we're seeing today is a resurgence, especially in the lower end, and especially because of the ubiquitous smartphone recording devices and digital recording. The quote amateur content is now very good quality because these recording devices can pick up very good quality. I mean, you can get the equivalent of what cost $300 in 2004 is about $25 now. The equivalent to high-end quality. Talking about 128 kilobit recording in an MP3 or in a WAV file. So podcasting stations, like the ones with just a headset, a little tripod like this, which I'm going to put a list of materials out after this workshop, and that's a $5 tripod with a little clamp that'll even hold onto a smartphone. Usually finding those little clamps for smartphones, they're a little pricey, and I found one that's $5. So headset, $10 on sale. The clamp and the tripod, $5, and then the recorder, $25 to $60, depending on the quality you want to get. So we're talking way under $100 per station these days. What used to be, in 2004, probably the iPod alone. What was the iPod alone when it first came out? Wasn't it like $350, $400? Something like that. When you're thinking of doing a podcast, the technology is actually kind of can be the last thing you think about. In fact, you should just become familiar with it enough that it is literally the last thing you think about. The first thing to think about is, what kind of topic and who are you going to interview to create a podcast if you're going to interview somebody? Or is this going to be a stream that you're going to create and put out on your own? Research the topic, and if you have interviewees, the interviewees. And then define the channel where you're going to post this. A lot of times you'll see the term channel used. iTunes is a channel, for instance. YouTube is a channel. So a place that you're going to post your output. And once you decide on your channel, that's going to tell you a little bit more about the kind of output you'll need and what you'll need to post. For instance, if you pick iTunes, then any of these recording devices is all you're going to need. Right? All you need is the audio file. If you're going to pick SoundCloud or YouTube, then you're going to need a picture to go with it. Just about everybody who posts in SoundCloud puts a picture in there too, with the audio. And in YouTube, you have to. You have to merge your audio with your photo because YouTube, for a brief time, allowed audio-only uploads, and they stopped. So now they force you to upload video. Now there are all kinds of little programs that allow you to cut and paste a picture into the video. But the net is, if you pick that platform, you have to be prepared to do the merging of at least a photo with the audio. And then there are many web platforms that either directly support streaming audio and video, or have some kind of a plug-in so that you can take whatever you have out on iTunes or Vimeo or SoundCloud and embed it so it looks like it's part of your website. Once you've got these defined, then schedule an interview, record, acquire at least a photo with it. Even if you are going to use, say, iTunes, it's good to have a photo with it so that if you're going to have an iTunes stream on your website, having a photo with it is oftentimes a really good idea. After creating the podcast, what do you do next? It's rare that you're so good at managing the audio on one of these little devices that you can get away without editing. It's very rare. Usually, I mean, the common things that happen is there's some kind of a glitch and you had to re-record. And one of the best things to do, by the way, if you're in a session and you hit a little glitch, like a cat comes in and meows, or somebody comes to the door, is as soon as the disturbance is quiesced, just keep going. You've got a flow going. Don't worry about, oh, let me take this all over again. Just keep going. And edit that out later. Jot down something about the time where this happened so you can edit it out. But don't. My advice is on podcasts, don't spend a lot of time trying to deal with the distractions during the recording other than just, keep talking and wait for the distraction to go away and then just continue.